So let's have a look at dog culture and gossip. So if you're a Christian, you know that God hates gossip. Gossip is one of the most terrible things you can do to your fellow humans. Gossip ruins the reputation of someone and does not give them a platform to speak their case. So God hates gossip. Does dog culture participate in gossip? Well, let's have a look. First, let's review something about gossip.
Some people believe that it is impossible for God to hate, but the truth is, God indeed does hate, and the Bible makes this expressly clear. Proverbs chapter 6, verse 16 through 19. These 6 things doth the Lord hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood.
Is that dog culture a proud look? They're always propping dogs up in human like clothes, hoodies, rain jackets inside of cars, giving them shampoos, special doggy daycare, spa days. The proud look, the lying tongue. The lying tongue is the pretty look of the dog. It says safety, security. However, that is a complete lie because dogs kill humans. Hands that shed innocent blood. Yes, hands that spoil dogs. Well, the dogs that you're spoiling, they shed innocent blood. They kill our fellow humans, our women, our children, our UPS drivers, our bus drivers, our school workers, and so many other people.
An heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief.
Feet swift in running to mischief, that's dogs. Oh my goodness, the baby made a squealing noise. I must run and bite the baby. Oh my goodness, the neighbor pulled up in his car. I must bark and jump on the couch and break through the window and try to bite people and bark at people.
A false witness that speaketh lies.
A false witness that speaketh lies. Yes, that's a nanny dog. That's your best friend. Just go ahead and ignore all the death, all the cost, all the property destruction, all the dog on dog violence. Just ignore that. That is the false witness.
And he that soweth discord among brethren.
Soweth discord among brethren. Just look at all the veterinarian suicides, all the attacks inside of doggy daycare and inside of doggy training. Look at all the canine dogs that work for police officers and other type municipalities. They cost billions and billions of dollars yearly because they bite innocent citizens. That is sowing discord among the brethren through the ownership of dogs.
Verse 19 is what I want us to pay particular close attention to. A false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. Other version of verse.
Yes, dog culture is full of lies. Dog culture is constantly marketed so powerfully. Dogs are so great, humans are not good. Dogs are better than humans. Dogs are your best friend. I trust dogs more than I trust humans. If my dog doesn't like you at my house, then I'm not going to like you at my house. If you don't like dog hair in your barbecue cheeseburgers, then don't come over here for 4th of July. All of this sowing of discord, all of this gossip, perceived or not perceived, it's all there.
Verse 19 states, a false witness who pours out lies and a person who stirs up conflict in the community. This is clearly stated in the Bible as something that God hates. Stirring up conflict is something the devil does. The first person to stir conflict in the Bible is Satan. He deceived Adam and Eve.
Yeah, this is very, very prevalent in dog culture. And within a couple hours of looking around at the dog stories and looking around at the products that dog owners buy, all of the signs and stickers for their house, this is very easy to detect if you are able to pull your eyes away from your dogs for a few minutes. So let's look at a couple minutes of speech from this other YouTube channel.
This is one of those phrases that everybody's heard. Sticks and stones May break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Everybody's familiar with that, right? I think that is the biggest lie I have ever heard.
This makes a lot of sense. When we have a giant portion of our nation running around worrying about dogs, and then they turn around and say so much about their fellow humans that is negative. Oh, that's a dog abuser. Oh, you don't like dogs. Oh, dogs are better than humans. Oh, I saw a guy on the ring camera rough handling his dog. He's a dog abuser. Let's get him fired from his job. Yeah. And hundreds and thousands of comments will be popping up everywhere about getting somebody fired, getting somebody thrown in prison without any consideration of their family, their job, the bills they have to pay. There's this whole thing about, oh, that's a dog abuser, and we just have to, basically assassinate him or murder him.
It's not true, is it? Words can hurt, right? And sometimes words hurt worse than sticks and stones. I mean,
This is very relevant for right now, 7/15/2024. We just had an alleged assassination attempt on a former president. And whether that was fake or staged or not doesn't really matter. I understand there's a lot of side arguments and political conversations about that. But the fact is that it happened. And facts are also that this was promoted to happen through words that can hurt people. So, you might have remembered this celebrity Johnny Depp with his comments about assassinating Donald Trump. All of the celebrities lined up to act like this was cool. George Clooney, Madonna, and a bunch of other celebrities, many of the ones that were at Joe Biden's inauguration, they thought this was super funny and cool. And a lot of people mimicked Johnny Depp with rap videos and other comments about putting bullets in certain people's heads. So, yeah, words can hurt because they ruin someone's reputation and because they motivate others to do violence. They motivate others to think that, oh, it's okay to hurt someone else for some perceived slight that someone else said about someone who's not even present in the conversation. And like Donald Trump was not present right here to defend himself against these comments. And that's another important part of this gossip. So, somebody not being there while the gossip happens. This is right out of dog culture. We are constantly putting pictures up out of context, calling some human in the background an abuser, and then we jump on board to say, oh, let's fire them from their job, let's hurt them, etc., so on and so forth. But they are not there to tell their story, and that is gossip. So, fellow Christians, are you following any of these three things that you're supposed to follow when it comes to dog culture and gossip?
For me, practically speaking. Number one is to call it out.
Okay, do you call it out? When people jump on YouTube and everywhere else and they show a picture of a dog with like a scab or a little bit of pus in its eye, and then they say, we rescued this dog from a terrible person, terrible person, threw this dog on the side of the road. Do you call it out or do you participate in the gossip? From everything I've seen, you just call it out. You just participate in the gossip and you refuse to call it out. You refuse to say, hey, hold on. What's the real story here? Are you just trying to pull my heartstrings?
If you're in a conversation with someone and it begins to move towards gossip about someone else, be willing to stop the conversation and name it for what it really is. This is gossip. God is not honored by gossip. Gossip is a sin, and God hates it. Thus, we need to stop the conversation now before any more gossip happens.
Yeah, stop talking shit about some supposed dog abuser while you sit there and virtue signal because you found a dog with a chain hooked to it and supposedly somebody did that. Blah, blah, blah. Nobody knows what the true story is, so go rescue your dog and have a nice day. But you don't have to sit there and demonize some supposed human in the background because that is gossip.
See, undoubtedly, If you've been in one of these moments, it gets awkward, but the point gets communicated.
Yeah, it definitely gets awkward. If somebody's talking about dogs and you ask them, well, hey, wait a minute, is that true? Yeah, they'll get ready to demonize you. They'll be like, well, you're a freaking dog hater, just because you don't believe the mainstream gossip.
Number 2, redirect the conversation. Another way to respond to gossip is to simply redirect the conversation.
So Christians in dog culture, this is kind of like call it out. Do you guys redirect the conversation? No, you just sit there and allow people to tell and tell more and more over the top stories about dog abuse, produce more and more videos of alleged dog abuse. Every single time an airplane comes over from Oklahoma to bring dogs to Oregon and they say these are terrible rescue dogs from dog hoarders, that's just an alleged dog hoarder case about a dog hoarder that isn't even there to talk about what happened to them. Do you redirect the conversation, or do you sit there and say, oh my god, dogs are the most precious and most helpless things ever? Well, no, they're actually not. Your human children are. But do you redirect the conversation, or do you sit there and do you promote this gossip? Responding to gossip is a big part of what promotes gossip in your society.
When you're in a conversation when someone's beginning to gossip and speak about another person who's not present.
Yes, boom, not present. All of this gossip in dog culture, they are always talking about someone that's not present. Some supposed dog abuser. They found a dog underneath a porch and it looks a little skinny. Oh my god, they didn't feed this dog all natural beef organic, super duper yummy yummies all of its life. Oh.
Be confident enough to just change the topic matter altogether. Again, this may be awkward.
Yeah, change the topic matter. Like you could say, hey, everything that dogs get comes from humans. So let's not gossip about our fellow humans. But we don't do that.
But the point gets clearly communicated that you're not going to participate. So that's the second way. The third way is probably my favorite, because I've been a victim of this one. Give a blank stare.
Yeah, give a blank stare. Do you guys give a blank stare? This really applies to all these YouTube videos that are put up by celebrities, news stations, dog rescue organizations. They put up a picture of a dog and they say that it came from a fighting or hoarding or rescue situation, or they found it underneath of a car or underneath of a porch. And then you'll get hundreds and thousands of responses about, oh my god, we got to find the abuser that did that and ruin their life, and also let me give you a bunch of money and accolades. Well, if you would just give a blank a blank stare to all of this bullshit dog propaganda, then it wouldn't get put out there. So our society, as it responds to the dog culture gossip, we should give that a blank stare. We should click on unsubscribe to all these news channels that put out all these BS dog rescue stories that we demonize people all the time. Like a FedEx worker that has been bit by 3 pit bulls, if that FedEx worker kicks a pit bull out of the way, they will try to get that FedEx worker fired without even talking about what has happened to that FedEx worker in the past. And so, yeah, we need to give a blank stare to all this crappy dog propaganda that puts dogs above humans. So, Christians, do you do any of these things when it comes to all the dog gossip? And do you participate in the gossip in the first place? Because if you do, then you're participating in something that is sick, nasty, and subhuman, and it's causing problems all over our society. And it's time to do a self-examination, and let me hear what you have to say about this. This is an open question to Christians and everybody else in the dog culture. What do you have to say about all the nasty dog culture gossip that happens every day? Gossip against your fellow humans that are never there to give their side of the story when it comes to all of these dog stories.